This is Yerushalmi Kilayim Daf Chav Gimel. And the article is Bad Edition, and we are up to the fifth line down, Tani Chamisha Dvarim, which in the Vilna should be on the base. No, base and Aleph, sorry. 3 lines to the bottom. Tani Chamisha Dvarim Blasi Bonis. There are 5 things which are stated about a Greek gourd. Now, I have not been able to ascertain in the brief amount of research which I did what specifically a Greek gourd is, but it evidently was a very, very unique gourd. A Masachin Yisrael Gabi Yisraelim, you can't cause it to lean over and cover plants. Obviously, that would seem to be there is a Kilayim issue. It could also be, though, that it's a Choshen Mishpah issue because it prevents the light getting to the other plants because obviously it's a very wide-spreading and evidently thick-leaved plant. And the Girsa in the Gemara is Misabchin, but the bottom in the Mishnah Schos it says Misakichin. So that translates as Misakhin. And again, it could be a Kilayim issue, it could be a Choshen Mishpah issue. Misakhin is a little bit difficult, so Misakhin works out better. Umivia Satuma, since it has such an amazing canopy, it creates an oil for purpose of Tuma. Chotes the Tuma, and also arrests Tuma from proceeding beyond it. But Okta Tefach, its stem is very broad. It's it's okay. It's a tefach, meaning that we have Sechus Uktzin, which is about how much of a stem is considered to be a yad to the fruit in order to be makabel tuma. So up to a tefach away from the gourd, the stem is considered to be a yad for the gourd handle, and it can bring tuma into the gourd and take tuma out of the gourd, both directions. And the tefach is a long amount of stem to consider a handle, and that's obviously because of the proliferation of this plant. Voseres koshu, and it's asers even in the smallest amount. So the evidently you have a small Greek gourd is still a big gourd, something along those lines. They're very chashuv, so they're not bato in minuscule amounts, and they create kilayim. They are so significant that if somebody takes a nether to refrain from gourds, he really means Greek gourds because they are such a prominent representative of the type, so prominent that a stam gourd would refer to a Greek gourd. Why you end up with 5, which means that Mabia Suma that it's causes an OL for Tuma, and the rest of Tuma is 2, is one thing, let it be 2 things. Tiny by Kapara Sheva. So, and by Kapara, in fact, counted 7 qualities of the Greek word. A Mesachichin Osagab Israel, like I said before, you can't incline it over the seeds. Umivia Satuma, it causes an oil for Tuma. Chotzes Tuma to rest to and from proceeding further. Beyond a tefach, and the handles a tefach. The no slim law avodosa, and we have to give a gap between the Greek gourd and anything else which is going to be planted in its vicinity, and it's if you have to distance any from it 6 tvachim as opposed to regular vegetables. You need less. You can make a little more, a small patch, but here you have to have a 6 tvachim around the Greek gourd in order to prevent kilayim. And that was one thing which was not in the previous brisa, and the previous statement, whoever that was, it's a brisa, yeah. And Kilayim mimar ramis, and now he says it's kilayim with the Aramaic gourd. Kilayim rumutza, it's kilayim with the rumutza gourd. These are other types of gourds, obviously, which are, even though they seem to be of the gourds and similar, they're not. Therefore, it's kilayim. And this is Reb Chaim adds on, even if there's a row of lasibonis and a row of las aramis, it's no good. You have to have archak of 6 tvach in the middle. Says Gemara, velo tani oseres. He doesn't. He drops the ula drops oseres kosher, which is the brisa, and velo tani nedorim. And he doesn't say that it drops the issue of nedarim. No, to me not luim. So I didn't count, but I'm suspecting that it comes out 7 because he divides up to two more things: Mesachin, Via, Chotzetzes, Yoda, Abadasa, Kilayim Aramis, Kilayim Aramutza. So it's 7, including breaking up those the two more issues. I'm Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Bun. I'm Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Gamliel Rabbi Navak L'Shukar. Rabbi was one of the sons of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. Went out to the marketplace. Asin Shalei Sichul Sh'amru B'Nogea. This sichul, which they say asers, is it when it touches or even if it doesn't touch? There's rhyme underneath. Asa Shalavio Voyim came to his father. Amle sichul Sh'amru B'Nogea. It's only a problem when it touches. So again, it sounds one could learn it two ways. The odds are I have to concede that it's going on Kilayim, not on Kush Mishpat, but so because it seems to be we're trying to figure out when it's to be a Taroves, the fact that it's a Mesachech and when not. But you could say perhaps that it is still Kush Mishpat issue because the question is at what point it's interferes so much that it's going to impede the growth of something underneath. Okay, not necessary. Rabbi Yonah, Yenisah Rabbi Hillel, Rabbi Vaus, Nafel Geshuka. They went to the marketplace and they asked him some question. Actually, sichul she'amru b'nogea is the sichul that they say also it's with dafka when it's touching. So according to Rabbi Chaim, the question is if it's mutter. He goes with the Yerushalmi Kilayim. He's saying is it mutter even if it's touching as long as it's not entangled. According to that's the Chaim. According to Pnei Moshe and the Maharav Fulda, the question is if Sichuch asers only by Nogea, only when it Sichuch asers only when it touches, and it basically is asking the same question which we had previously. So Reb Chaim learns this different question, and the Maharav Pnei Moshe and Maharav Fulda learns the same question. As a Sholabui, so he came to his father, Rabbi Hillel, Rabbi Valas, and Rabbi Hillel came to his father, Rabbi Valas, and the sichul is a problem when it touches. What does it mean when he says, I see their words over my words? It was in our Mishnah. It said that Rebbe said, Avakishas Mitzri is the same status as Lasibonis. And then he said, I don't think I'm right about it. So, Maris says, Im Las Mitzris, she misabeches at Amar Mutar, if the Egyptian gourd, which is obviously different than the Greek gourd and not as overwhelming as it is, as that one, and it gets entangled. And here, probably does mean entangled and not misakeches. No, the Shini's Chos also has a change. Shini's Chos changes everything throughout the entire sugya. So from misabeches to misakeches. So if las mitzvah she misakeches at Omar Mutar, I guess it's not misakech the same way las Yibonis is. So the kishos upula mitzvah, which are not misakech to the same extent as las mitzvahs, kal v'chomer. Omar Rabbi Abba Mari Lokein Hava Rabbi Mana Omer. It's not actually. It should be read probably. Uh, that's not how Rabbi Mana explained the Mishnah, and Rabbi Chaim brings down that the Orza Ruah does not have the words Rabbi Omer. Kohen Ditzninon, so therefore we're going to take it out. Kohen Ditzninon Kishul Supula Mitzri Aflas Mitzvahs Bichlal. So he says no. Pula mitzvah and last mitzvahs have the same status. So it can't be a kavachomer. Last mitzvah, that Rayman kavachomer. Last mitzvah is mutter, certainly pula mitzvah, because it's the same thing. And Mao Rowan is Dvarai. What does it mean? Rowan is Dvarai, not because of kavachomer, last mitzvahs. Nothing to do with that. Shein kula misakachin to last yibonis. They don't all get either entangled according to Gersa Misabachin or can't create a canopy according to the Gersa Misakachin. No, nothing is like a Greek word. Okay, Hajalaka. Next parak. Aruga. Aruga shisha shito tvachim. Patch, which is 6 by 6 tvachim. Zarim besocha chamisha zironim. You plant 5 seeds. Arba ba'arba ruchos. Aruga, 4 on the 4 corners of the 4 sides of the patch. The echad be'emtza, and 1 in the middle. And there are many possibilities if you have an art scroll or you'll see many possibilities as to how to interpret this, but this is the standard interpretation which everybody uses. It's here the Bnei Moshe. In the middle you have a diamond, so it's Rosh Torah on all sides, and then you have 4 different seeds, vegetable seeds, on the corners. I mean, on the sides. 4 on the side and the diamond patch in the middle. If there was a boundary, in other words, there was a raised boundary around this patch, gavah tefach, which is a tefach higher. You can plant 13 seeds. Shlosha kol govel, 3 on each side, ve'echa ba'emtza, and 1 in the middle. So everything is going to be a rush toward everything else. In the scenario over here. No, not this scenario. This scenario, yeah. You count there. No, not this one. This one over here. Yeah, that one. So there are 12, 3 on each side, and 1 in the middle. And so they're either distant or they are rush toward to each other. Leita rosh halefes betoch hagovel, but you shouldn't put a turnip into the boundary. They should maleo because it's like a mini glass mitzvahs. The Yavanis, it fills it up. Rabbi Yehuda Mer shisha b'emtza. Rabbi Yehuda says you can get up to 6 in the middle, and 6 in the middle. There are many different possibilities here. Let's see what the Chaim goes with in his pictures. Picture Mem Aleph. Yeah. So this one over here, which is also in the art scroll, Rash Cirilio. So that one is, and there's, as he points out, there is each side of this diamond is going to be 1.5 tvachim, And everything is a Rosh Torah in this case. Okay, that's the end of the Mishnah. And that brings us actually to the Chavtalim base. So we will have to, not much to do tomorrow. See what we do.